Alrighty, people. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. I mean, round one offered a lot of surprises, a lot of things you and I did not see coming, a lot of things that we did see coming, and everything in between. And we are more than thrilled to be here with you guys and to break down everything that happened after round one. Overall, RIP to Shedeur Sanders.
RIP. Hey, thank you for your service. Thank you so much for doing everything in Colorado.
Rest in peace.
Let me get those giant cleats, huh? And pass it over to Jackson Dart, my guy.
Rest in peace, Mr. Shedeur Sanders. There is a lot to break down. We are going to jump into some Dynasty rookie mock drafts. You're going to have a chance to join us. And we're also going to do some real rookie drafts. Again, breaking down everything that happened from day one of the NFL draft. We had a pretty good day. There was a little rough stretch there in the middle of the draft, and then a couple things kind of hit with the Omarion Hampton going in round one, which we were hoping to see, and we are absolutely thrilled that you are here with us to experience the stream today. Do us a massive favor. Go ahead and smash that like button with the draft hype. We appreciate you guys for being here. It is a great week for all of us who love Dynasty football. I'm going to say just quickly, we are giving away a rookie tear down tool, which is basically a tool that shows you exactly how to tear down from the 101 to the 102 to the 102 to the 103, all the way down to the 106 type of range. A lot of people out there who are in dynasty teams that are in rebuilders, that are one-year punts, and even these bigger rosters, you're going to want to go out there and win this rookie tear down tool. All you need to do, I don't care what promo code you use on the Flock site. All you need to do is type in LAND, L-A-N-D, into the chat, into the YouTube chat, like the stream, and you're going to be entered into today's giveaway. We will give away this rookie teardown tool after the first rookie mock draft. So that is how you can enter. Let's get straight into some Dynasty rookie mock drafts, Badaki. If people want to join today's mock draft, how can they go about doing so?
Yeah, guys, join our Discord. That link is in the description. I'll put that link in the chat here in a second, okay? You're going to see that Nightbot come up. And just go to that link in that Discord, and you're going to go to our Fantasyland tab, which actually we just changed it to LAN with the orange footballs. Then go to announcements, and that's how you can join each and every mock draft. I'm going to let you guys draft in this mock draft. We're going to break it down a little bit, but I'm going to send that link out, have you guys mock. Here we go. Sending that link out in 3, 2, 1. It is first come, first serve. There you go. Send that out. You guys join that mock draft. Let's have some fun in this one.
Yes. And I hope that you guys are open to conversations, because we are going to try and leave a lot of room to have different conversations. There's going to be a lot of questions that a lot of us have around this class. It is not a straightforward class. There's a lot of difference of opinion, and it's going to be a very, very good stream. So I am drafting here. Well, I thought I was in this draft, but I'm not, and that's okay.
But that's okay.
We're going to let you guys draft, and we're going to monitor this as we go. So we will pause the clock here and there just to quickly talk about what's happened here in the first round. Okay. Did not expect that. I think James McGill is trying to stir some chaos, maybe. I'm not sure.
It's already happening, ladies and gentlemen.
Omarion Hampton goes 101. I did say for the past 3 or 4 months that if Omarion Hampton goes in round one of the NFL draft, he would be locked and loaded as my 102. But I have pretty consistently said that doesn't mean he's going to go ahead of Ashton Jeanty.
No.
Okay, and I still feel that way right here, right now, even though James has decided to take Omarion over Jeanty. It was a perfect landing spot for Ashton Jeanty. He goes 6th overall to the Raiders. Round 1 draft capital, even better, top 10 draft capital. He goes to a system with Pete Carroll. Okay, think about this for a second. Think about this. Yeah, you got Chip Kelly there as well. Great, all right, from Ohio State. But think about this. When Pete Carroll's teams were at their absolute peak, when they were at their best, when they were winning Super Bowls, what was the identity of that football team? The identity of those Seahawks teams was defense and running the damn football. And that's what they get to do here at pick 6, taking Ashton Jeanty off the board. Decent offensive line, Geno Smith, Brock Bowers, Ashton Jeanty. He should be locked and loaded as the 101. Do not overthink this, all right? I love you, James McGill.
Look,
I love that you're with us, but do not overthink Ashton Jeanty at the 101. Please, I'm begging you.
Look, I completely agree. Let me just back up JC here for a quick second and play devil's advocate here. How many carries did Blake Corum have in Michigan? How many yards did he have in Michigan? He's going to Jim Harbaugh right now, Omarion Hampton. Who gives a shit about Najee Harris, with all due respect? But Omarion Hampton, which is, I think, maybe what people are thinking about, is that Omarion is going to be the workhorse in an offense that is going to move the ball, that is going to score.
That argument is fine, and it's true, but it falls completely flat with zero backing when you realize, you know what? The same can be said for Ashton Jeanty, and he was taken top 10. Like, come on.
Look, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just playing devil's advocate, trying to get into the people's mind here.
No,
I understand why Omarion,
silly season from our Dynasty
why
community.
JC can think that, but I'm still with you. Ashton Jeanty is my 101. Omarion Hampton is my locked 102.
Pick, by the way.
And let's see who's at the 103 here.
Love the landing spot for him going at the 102 to the Chargers. You're 100% right. You make a great point. It's a perfect landing spot. We have said consistently this offseason that if Omarion goes round 1, he's locked and loaded into our 102. So I love the fit, but I think it's silly to be taking Hampton over Jeanty. That's just my personal opinion. All right, Celica is on the board here at the 103. I think there is definitely a tier 1 of its own. I think that's Jeanty. I think a tier 2 of its own. For me, that's going to be Hampton. And then I think it's kind of butt-ass naked wide open from pick 3 onwards. I truly think at this point, after round 1, there are probably around 7 players I think you could justify here. Ted McMillan is one of them, so he comes off the board. Cam Ward is the other name. Let's quickly talk about these two. So for Ted McMillan to go off the board at the 103, I think this is a pretty good landing spot for Ted McMillan. You don't have to ask the question like Emeka Egbuka, for example, how many targets could he earn in year 1? You look at that offense there in Carolina. Jalen Coker, Xavier Legette, who was disappointing last year. We know Canales wants that outside X receiver. Well, he gets that here with Ted McMillan. We saw Bryce Young take a big step last year, and now he gets a true number 1 receiver in Ted McMillan. Ted should have every opportunity to have 130 plus targets in that offense this year. He should have every opportunity. Yeah. So he's totally worthy of the 103 as he has been this offseason. And then Cam Ward at the 104. Right now, I might slightly prefer Cam Ward here at the 104 or the 103 over Ted McMillan. Again, super flex league, number 1 overall pick. I'm not the biggest Cam Ward believer. I think you can make an argument that Ted McMillan is actually the safer pick to be made. But as far as outcomes, what player in a year's time, if they hit, is going to have more value in a Dynasty Superflex League? You could strongly make the case that Cam Ward might be that name over Ted McMillan. But again, this is a huge tier from the 103 onwards for me. How do you feel?
Yeah, I completely agree. Massive tier. I mean, I could just throw the wrench in right now and say Travion Henderson goes to the Bears in the early second. I think a lot of people would probably take him over Ted immediately at the 103, but we all have to wait and see what day 2 is going to look like. But right now, yes, I would agree that Cam Ward should be the 103 in my personal perspective until we have the second round in the books. But Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft in a super flex league, is kind of where you want to go right now. Personally, over Ted McMillan. Now, Ted, is he going to be getting all these targets with Bryce Young? Are we excited about Bryce Young supporting a wide receiver? 1, we've never seen it. 2, is he going to take the next big step? Even though we saw a portion of the season of him taking that, there's a little bit of that gray area there here.
Yep.
So then now you see Cam Ward, Travis Hunter, who goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars.
I have a lot to say about this.
Up.
I have a lot to say about Travis Hunter.
And please, go ahead. I'll give it to you.
If you guys would just give me 5 minutes, I think I can cover almost every question you're going to have about Travis Hunter right now. Okay? I want to start by saying this. Anyone in this industry, and I love a lot of people in this industry, I've said a lot of stupid things myself, but anyone in this industry who is creating content after the draft and telling you they know what's going to happen with Travis Hunter, with all due respect, I would not trust that person simply because we have never been in this situation before. You have never had to ask yourself in the top 6 picks of a rookie draft, How much offense is this guy going to play? You've never had to ask that before, ever, okay? So keep that in mind. I want to preface what I say next by saying this, okay? I want to preface everything I say next by saying we truly cannot say for certain exactly how much work he'll get on offense. However, here's what I can tell you. You want to go glass half full with me for a second?
I'm always a glass half full type of guy.
Travis Hunter in college, and I know it's college. I know it's not the same as the NFL, but Travis Hunter in college. Do you want to know how many snaps he averaged per game?
You tell me.
Well, per game, let's go to Luther Burden first. Luther Burden averaged 44 snaps per game. How about Tet McMillan? Tet McMillan averaged 61 snaps per game. Travis Hunter averaged 118 snaps per game at Colorado this year. Okay? Keep that in mind. 118 snaps per game, and he did it at an elite level, and he got 1,400 receiving yards playing both sides, and he won the Heisman Trophy. Now, the other important piece of this, which is what I was waiting to find out while we were on our stream over there on the Redraft channel, is I wanted to know, what does this coaching staff, what does Liam Cohen think about the offensive role for a Travis Hunter? That was the only thing I was thinking about. I'm going to spam this in the chat for you. Feel free to go have a look and watch for yourself. There's an 18-minute interview here, and about 2 to 3 minutes in, they ask Liam Cohen, they said, Liam, what's his role? What is he going to do? Travis keeps saying he wants to play on both sides of the ball. He says he'll do whatever the team wants him to do. And then Liam Cohen comes out and says, look, it is fluid. However, at this time, this is what he said. I'm quoting his words directly. Liam Cohen, the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. He says he will primarily play on offense to start. That is a good sign. That is the kind of news we heard from the Cleveland Browns. That is why we all started getting really comfortable about taking him in the top 3 to 4 picks of a Dynasty rookie draft, okay? So Liam Cohen comes out and he says the most comforting thing he possibly could. The most comfortably thing he possibly could say for us in Dynasty rookie drafts. And I want to be very, very clear about one more thing, okay? You do not send, as a bottom dweller team for the past decade, which is what the Jaguars have been, you do not send your future first round pick and a second and whatever else was involved, to move up 3 spots to not get every single thing you can out of this guy. Meaning, he's going to play as much offense as you could possibly throw at him, okay? So, it is my opinion right now, and I will record content later for you guys, but it is my opinion right now that you can take either Tet or Travis as the first receiver off your boards. I truly believe that. From the 103 onwards, Travis Hunter is in play. But so is Tet McMillan. So is Cam Ward. If some of these running backs go in round 2 that we love. I truly, truly believe that Travis Hunter is still in play. They're talking about featuring him in the offense. By the way, they just hired a head coach. What did he specialize in? Offense, all right? And they decided to go out and draft Travis Hunter. Now, this team has huge needs on defense, but they said we're going to slowly work him into the defensive side, be fluid, see what he can do. But it sounds like at the moment, they are primarily going to use him as an offensive weapon moving forward. Now, again, I can't tell you for certain what the outcome of that is going to be, but I truly believe from the 103 onwards, Travis Hunter is in play. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, look, for me right now, if my draft was right now and I had to make a decision, I'm taking Tet. Just purely based off of how I feel the security of this player. Why? Because like you said, you've mentioned the Jacksonville Jaguars, their defense, their secondary does need help. Does that mean on weeks where he's going against Nico Collins, on weeks where he has to play Jamar Chase or Justin Jefferson, is he playing more DB than wide receiver? And then sometimes he's playing the Carolina Panthers and he doesn't really have to cover anyone and he's playing wide receiver 1 because he can. I think right now, if I had to choose, I'm taking Tet, but I think depending on when your draft is, let's say your rookie draft is in June or a month from now.
Sure. You'll have more information. You'll learn more.
We'll have more. Yeah,
sure.
Exactly. We'll have more information. Right now, I don't think I can personally take. We have rookie drafts in a couple days.
Yep.
And if I'm in this position, wherever these guys are going to be, I feel sorry. I'm sorry that you're gonna have to make this pick because you're not gonna know, and you're gonna hate yourself in a month from now if you chose the wrong player.
Again,
right now, I feel like you have to go with safety.
You have to recognize that we can't truly say exactly what's going to happen with Travis Hunter, but we have heard plenty of GMs say they're going to feature him at wide receiver, and then the team that just drafted him, that hired an offensive head coach, said they want to use him primarily on offense. And people are saying, what about Brian Thomas? He doesn't exist? I'm sorry, of course he exists. Of course he exists. You think there's not enough targets to go around in an offense that had Parker Washington as its second target option? Come on, y'all. What are we talking about? There are plenty of targets to go around for Brian Thomas and for Travis Hunter. But this is a huge, huge W for one Trevor Lawrence. No doubt about it. All right. Travion Henderson comes off the board there at the 106, okay? Now, I still would put both Travion and Judkins kind of in this same tier as like the Hunters, the Hendersons, like the Wards here at that kind of 103 to 110 type of range. Because I think you and I are both assuming that both Henderson and Judkins are still going to be selected in round 2, right? There's still plenty of teams that have running back need. The Bears, the Cowboys, the Broncos. We can list off plenty of names. Do the Broncos have their second round pick? I can't remember, but there's still plenty of teams. The Patriots, there's plenty of teams that could still go out there and draft a running back. As Matthew Golden comes off the board at the 107, I'll be honest, I loved that landing spot, man. I loved the landing spot for Matthew Golden. At first, it took me a second to settle in, but then I thought, wow, this is the first time since 2002 that this franchise decided they wanted to draft a wide receiver in round 1. I loved Golden's film. I know that the analytics people don't love. The spreadsheet people aren't in on Golden. The film people typically love him. Not everybody. I love him. I think he's a great route runner. Incredible hands. Safe, sure, reliable hands. And they needed someone to play outside. And that's exactly what Golden can do for you. He can play outside. You can put him inside, but he can definitely be your primarily outside receiver. Christian Watson goes down with that injury, right? And then obviously Romeo Doubs is just a guy. Dontavion Wicks is just a guy. He might not even be a guy, right? But this is a situation where I could easily see Matthew Golden being the number 1 wide receiver on this team from week 1 onwards of this season. Maybe he gets 7 targets per game there. I think that's a very good situation for him to be in.
I completely agree. I think this is phenomenal. I think Romeo Doubs is really hurt. Jaden Reed could potentially hurt him or help him. It just really depends on how they're going to be scheming both of these guys up. Do we see Matthew Golden on the field more over Romeo Doubs? I think that is actually the pathway that we're going to be seeing here. I think depending on these running backs, Travion Henderson, Quinshon Judkins, and their landing spot, there can even be a conversation once we get more information later on in the season where we can see Matthew Golden going as high as the 105, right? I mean, right now, your gut feeling with the landing spot, Tet or Matthew Golden, I think it's closer than what a lot of people think.
I'll go Tet. Top 10 pick. The top 10 hit rate on wide receivers way better. So I'll go Tet.
Yeah, I get it. And I completely understand that. But I think a lot of people would potentially like Golden over that just based off of the situation, based off of the offensive scheme, based off of the quarterback. I feel like a lot of people, why not take Golden, maybe not as high as the 103, but just over Tet, over Travis, if that is the conversation.
I'm really glad that you brought that up because I haven't even told you this yet, but we are going to include it into our next version of our rookie report, which will release right after the draft. But I actually took our hit rates further, and I actually went and looked at top 10 hit rates for wide receivers. And I can tell you that a top 10 hit rate for a wide receiver is about 67%. Compared to if you just look at the entire first round, it more sits around 53%. So top 10 is always a much safer bet historically for the position. I had Tet and Golden in different tiers before the draft. He goes top 10. So I agree where you're coming from. Like there's totally a realm of possibility here where Golden ends up being more valuable. But I think based off historical hit rates and my pre-draft rankings, I would still go Tet. But you're right. It's not that far off.
Yeah, not that far off whatsoever.
By the way,
here.
We had a question here from Adine Tahiri who submitted a super chat. He said, would you rather have the 102 or Garrett Wilson? And I'm going to go ahead and say the 102 here. I'm pretty confident that with Amarian Hampton going round 1, you're going to see him now probably round 2 of a startup draft. And Garrett Wilson's probably going to be there. But he's probably going to be more like a round 3 pick at this point. I can almost 100% guarantee you that if we were doing a startup draft tomorrow, I think Hampton's going ahead of Wilson. Do you disagree with me? Maybe we should pull the chat on this one.
No, I don't disagree. I think I'm right there with you there, so I feel pretty confident in that. Okay. Then you see Loveland and Warren off the board. Now, look, I do think in a tight end premium, you can see these guys, depending on the premium, going as high as the 104, 105. If it's a full point premium, I'll be happily taking specifically Loveland over the likes of, Travis Hunter, Travion Henderson, depending on his spot, Matthew Golden. But here they go at the 109, 110. I think they're more deserving of going higher. Tell me the numbers on a first round tight end hit rate versus a round 2 running back. Is that higher on the tight end?
Yeah, first round tight end hit rate's very high. It's 80%. Yeah. But I would probably still go round 2 running back because typically they have a bigger impact on your roster overall. But if you look at superstar hit rates, a running back in round 1 for a top 10 pick, which is what Ginty was, I guess Amarian wasn't, 100% hit rate. But again, this is all going to be in the 2025 rookie report for you guys. But yeah, so that is the end of round 1. I will say that Loveland's been my tight end since November. All right. There's a lot of things I was wrong on. There's a lot of things that we were right on. Loveland's been my tight end 1 since November, since we released our initial rankings. And I just had the opinion that production, we see this all the time, it doesn't always mean success. College production doesn't always mean success in the NFL. That's not to say that Tyler Warren won't be great, but he will. But it's more that people look for traits. And Colson Loveland had all of the traits that told you he could be an elite receiving threat at the tight end position. He had every single trait when you watch this film. I mean, this guy is accounting for like 30 to 40% of his team's receiving yards, even though he had terrible quarterback play. So it was incredibly awesome to see him going to the Chicago Bears at pick 10 overall. Was obsessed with that. So excited to see that. We then saw Tyler Warren. He went to the Colts. This was a connection that we saw all offseason. And it makes a lot of sense. I think you can make an argument. This is great for Jonathan Taylor. This is so good for Jonathan Taylor. But I also think you can make the argument that Tyler Warren, you should not be discounting him. Even though I had Loveland tight end 1, I still think Warren's a great prospect. And you should not be discounting him because of this landing spot, in my opinion. And let me just tell you why real quickly, okay? You shouldn't be discounting him because, number 1, a lot of us did that with Brock Bowers last year. Okay, I know different prospect. Brock Bowers is a blue chip player, no doubt about it. But number 2, this team has already shown that they are willing to move on from Anthony Richardson if he doesn't improve. They've already brought in a backup quarterback in Daniel Jones who will compete. So you already know that if it doesn't work out this year, they're going to have another quarterback in there next year. They are not being patient anymore at that position. Okay? And number 3, please tell me the weapon on the offensive side of the Colts football that is stopping Tyler Warren from being the number 1 weapon in this offense. Please someone tell me the guy for the Colts offense that is stopping Tyler Warren from being the number 1 target in this offense. Because it's not Michael Pittman. It's not Josh Downs. There is no one that's going to stop his ceiling.
I know who. Anthony Richardson. Because he won't be able to get the ball to him when he's wide open and naked in the middle of the field because his accuracy is shit. That's
exactly why I already said the team is addressing quarterback already this offseason. Okay?
Oh, sure. Let's get Daniel Jones up. Yeah, one of the best guys out there. Daniel Jones is going to make a huge difference.
That's what I said. I said Daniel Jones is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. That's what I said, right? Wake up, freaking Giants fan.
You said he's going to address the quarterback position. He's not going to help it.
I said the Colts are addressing the quarterback position. They've already shown that they want to improve the position by adding another name into there. And in 2026, we have enough quarterback prospects that could eventually suit for the Colts to replace him. So we've already seen last year people made massive mistakes looking at the Brock Bowers landing spot.
Yeah, I completely understand. Look, I something against Tyler Warren. I'm not going to make the same mistake by not taking Tyler Warren based off of his landing spot like I did last year. But we do have to separate the talent in the situation, right? In my personal opinion, Brock Bowers, blue chip, he should have been one of the top. Well, I guess he was a top 10, top 15 player in that draft. That draft was so deep, and he falls to the Raiders. We just didn't love the situation in the landing spot. That's arguably this situation in landing spot. What sounds crazy, it's probably worse. then what Brock Bowers went to with the quarterback position? Clearly, Brock Bowers became the number one offense weapon when Devontae Adams left, and that's all they had. Here, you have other options to lean on. Anyways, basically what I'm saying, I agree with you. I'm going to be taking Tyler Warren. Am I going to like it? Absolutely not. Because of Anthony Richardson in that situation. I'm not going to make that mistake again, but I'm going to be kicking myself in 2-3 years from now and be like, you know what? I should have went with my gut. Yeah. Because anyways.
Well, we appreciate you guys for being here. We will talk about Jackson Dart in a second. We have a like goal today of 250 likes on the stream. So if you want to be a friend, help the channel grow. We are actually, I think, 90 subscribers away from 20K on this channel. We are just 90 subscribers away from 20K on the channel. So appreciate y'all for being here with us. If you like Dynasty, if you like the NFL Draft, it's a great time to hit the like button, to show some love, and to subscribe. It would be awesome if we could hit 20K on the stream. Could you imagine if 90 people subscribed on the stream and we hit 20K today? That would be absolutely
That would be awesome.
Appreciate y'all for being here with us. And again, if you want to enter the raffle to get our tear down tool, rookie tear down tool, which will tell you what you can tear down with your 101, 102, 103, 105, 106. If you want to win that tool, we're giving that away on today's stream. All you got to do is type in LAND, L-A-N-D, into the chat and like the chat, or like the stream rather, and you will be entered into today's giveaway. Let's quickly talk about Jackson Dart, who went to your Giants. You're a Giants fan. I know you're absolutely thrilled about this, right? If you guys were if you guys were on our reaction stream, you would have seen Badaki. He was absolutely thrilled that you guys got Abdul Carter and then came back into the draft to get Jackson Dart. Very low, what's the word? Like, there's very little risk in the move you made. You only sent 2/3
low risk, high
to
reward.
move up. So
low risk, high reward. 2/3 in a second. And I completely agree. I love Jackson. Let me rephrase that. I don't love Jackson Dart. I said it for the past week. I don't care what happens. I don't care who the quarterback is. I
want to change.
I wanted, not that I wanted change, but I wanted to draft Abdul Carter. And I wanted to draft a quarterback, whether that was Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart. And the fact that they moved up to get a quarterback tells you exactly what you wanted. Well, it tells me exactly how they view Jackson Dart. I mean, think about it, guys. How many reports have we seen about the New York Giants front office spending time with Shedeur Sanders? Spending time and having private workouts and having meetings with him and going to every single one of his games this past year. And you're telling me Shedeur Sanders is still there at 25? Mm-hmm. And you trade up and say, you know what? We're going to go with Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
I think that speaks volumes to maybe the type of player Shedeur Sanders is and how people really view Shedeur Sanders, even though we were getting that report anyway.
I will be honest. I have some concerns. Can I say that?
Sure.
I have some concerns. Number one, the late round, first round hit rate for a quarterback is not great. Okay. If you look from the last 11 years, from 2014 onwards, we have 6 quarterbacks who went pick 20 onwards in the first round of an NFL draft. Do you guys want to hear those 6?
Sure.
Those 6 quarterbacks are Johnny Manziel, Teddy Bridgewater, Paxton Lynch, Kenny Pickett. Now here's where things get good. There's also Jordan Love and Lamar Jackson. Now, in the last 11 years, that's about a 33% hit rate on quarterbacks who were drafted in the first round, but pick 20 onwards. So the hit rate isn't that good. It's not that promising when you get very specific into the first round and you don't just look at the entirety of the first round, because the entirety of the first round includes top 10 picks for the quarterback, right? Quarterback position. But when you look specifically at where he was drafted, right? The late first round, the hit rate comes down to about 33% rather than that typical hit rate of 62% for all of the first round for the quarterback position. Does that concern you at all? Take some bias out of it. I know you're a Giants fan. Is there any concern that he was drafted that late in the first round?
Look, yeah, of course there's concern. There's concern because this quarterback class wasn't the best. There's concerns because, you know, I know Brian Daboll and Joe Shane are on the hot seat. We were desperate to go out and get a quarterback. We were trying to get Aaron Rodgers. We get Russell Wilson. I would say this. Let me ask you another question, which you probably don't know. How many of those quarterbacks were a starter day one, and how many of those quarterbacks that did hit were the quarterbacks? It sounds like that did hit sat for a year.
Yes.
I don't think Lamar Jackson sat for a year.
Lamar Jackson sat for the majority of his rookie season. He played.
There you go. I mean,
we know Love sat. Manziel,
okay.
I think, sat for like half the season, if I'm not mistaken. Same with Paxton. Kenny started straight away. I don't remember on Teddy, but.
Look, and obviously it's exciting because this is what I wanted specifically for this draft.
Yeah.
I think we needed to get out with the quarterback. We had no idea what we're going to do. That means their projections for this team is that we're probably not going to have a top 5 pick. They're hoping that we're going to every team in the NFL hoping that you're going to be middle of the pack or you win the Super Bowl. I think the fact that he can sit, it will be totally fine. It's totally fine. And this is I go back to the mold that Brian Daboll wants to build around. He's a big body, mobile quarterback that has an arm that can throw the ball down the field, just like a Josh Allen. Nowhere near Josh Allen, but that's the mold that Brian Daboll wants, and it's exciting. And this is going to be a guy that you're probably saying, should I draft him or should I take one of these running backs? And I think in a year or two from now, we're all going to be saying maybe we should have taken Jackson Dart over Quinshon Judkins, who went to the Bears in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
We just don't know. We have no idea, right?
Yeah. JCM says Bridgewater was looking nice before injuries. If he doesn't get hurt, he might hit. I actually looked up Bridgewater before his injuries. His best ever points per game season was quarterback 19. Quarterback 19 was his best ever point per game season. He played 14 games, and that was in 2021. So I don't know. I still think he was pretty far off from a hit myself, but he was looking like a decent game manager at that time. Now, certainly we don't have the same confidence in a Jackson Dart as we had last year in a McCarthy, in a Nix, these guys all that went top 15, right? In a Caleb, in a Drake May, a Jaden Daniels. The confidence level is far, far different. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. Again, smash that like button today. We got a like goal today of 250 likes. With your help, I just know we can do it. I know we can do it. We're closing in on 170 likes now. Be a friend. Smash that like button. We've got a great stream. We're just getting started as Emeka Egbuka comes off the board.
Oh yeah, let's talk about it.
We got to have a conversation. We got to have a conversation.
I mean, look, I was saying this all week. I was hoping Emeka was going to go to a landing spot that, at least we all hoped that he was going to go to a landing spot that was going to be fantasy relevant. I had him in the lights of like the Lad McConkeys of last year, that he could be the Lad McConkey of this class and going in the 1st round, which he did. He just went to a terrible landing spot.
Lad went early second, but I get what you're saying.
Yes, yeah, Lad went early second. I guess in terms of production and where he could have gone.
Sure.
Chris Godwin gets a long-term contract extension. Mike Evans, who is older, does have an out, if I'm not mistaken, after the 2026 year. They just drafted Jalen McMillan, won the 2nd or 3rd round last year. I think he is the long-term answer for them. I think they like him clearly over McMillan. I think they are looking towards the future to take over a Mike Evans. The only thing we hate about this is that you have to wait.
Yeah. No.
This is a Jackson Smith and Jigba, Rome Odunze type of situation, and it sucks.
What I hate about this is twofold. By the way, number one, Mike Evans is a free agent next year. So that's important to remember. He's a free agent next year, not in 2027 or 2028. Like, there's no extension beyond this year he's currently on. So that could be huge if they decide to move on from Mike Evans. Now, Egbuka, he has a skill set that might be able to win outside, but he mainly won in the slot as a collegiate player. Now, you can make the case, well, Jefferson was typically slot, and then he moved into the outside in the NFL. Sure, maybe that is what's happening here. However, you just signed Chris Godwin to a long-term deal. Chris Godwin, we saw in 2024, get back to this elite productive status. Where? In the slot. Where was he struggling the year before that in 2023? On the outside. So how exactly do Egbuka and Godwin complement each other? I don't think they do not complement each other. It does not make sense. That part of this equation. Mike Evans, it makes sense. He'll be a free agent next year. Also, McMillan is a very versatile inside-outside guy as well. I feel like they have 3 guys that they could play in the slot. And I just struggle to understand how it made sense for them as far as building a dynasty team. Building a real NFL team. I struggle to understand it.
I think this is what's going to happen. I personally believe that Chris Godwin is going to go back outside the slot. Remember, Liam Cohen is no longer here. He's with Jacksonville. This offensive coordinator, this system is going to change. Doesn't mean just because Chris Godwin was successful last year in the slot, doesn't mean he's going to play in the slot with this new offensive coordinator, which makes me believe you're taking a guy that can play in the slot, knowing that Chris Godwin can play on the outside, even though he wasn't successful there, but he can make plays still with Mike Evans on the other side. This means that Emeka Egbuka is the slot guy from day one. You're going to have three guys on the. I think so. I think you're going to have three guys on the field. It's going to be Mike Evans.
He's not going to be there in two wide receiver sets.
No, he's not. It's going to be Mike. But how many? Maybe you can pull this up. How many two wide receiver sets did they play?
Well, it's a different offense. They have, because obviously Liam Cohen, obviously leaves. They replace Liam Cohen. It's a different offense. We don't know what that coordinator is going to want to do there. And so it's at the very minimum, we have to acknowledge that this is a difficult situation to really understand. Just purely from number one, if you looked at the team needs for the Tampa Bay Bucks coming into this draft, you probably would have put wide receiver bottom 3 on their entire team. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. 100%.
So this is a team that has a bunch of aging veterans, and Godwin and Evans. Baker Mayfield isn't a young chicken anymore. And why? I just don't understand why not improve your offense or your defense? Why not improve a different area of your team when you have this window open where you know you're going to make the playoffs? Are you just saying, okay, maybe we need to think beyond Mike Evans? What does Mike Evans think about that? What does Chris Godwin think about that?
I think we need to think beyond Mike Evans. We need to understand how this offense is gonna function, because I don't think Mike Evans is a long-term answer. Neither is Chris Godwin. We don't know how he's gonna come back from that ankle injury. That's something that you've been saying a lot in the offseason. Like, we haven't seen a wide receiver specifically from a broken ankle really come back and produce. Is this an insurance for Chris Godwin, or is this insurance for Mike Evans, or is it both? Or now do they have Emeka that could play on the outside and or Jalen, and now then you have Jalen and Emeka on the field? That's kind of my thought process. I think, like WG said, I actually can't wait to get Egbuka late first, early second, because it's going to be the long-term play. The long-term play is exactly what you want for Emeka Egbuka right now.
You know what this
and
is?
If you're in a full rebuild,
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm saying if you're in a full rebuild, you're buzzing that Emeka Egbuka is most likely going to fall to you, and you can just sit and wait.
Can I tell you exactly what this is? And I wanted to finish by saying, but I'm still going to draft Egbuka everywhere I can. Let me be very clear. Egbuka is not a void for me. He's such a safe player. But you have to recognize when you draft him, this is a 1-year wait at least. Do you know what this is?
100%.
This is, to a greater extent, Ricky Pearsall in 2024. This is Ricky Pearsall in 2024 to a greater extent. He was a first rounder. It was a better class.
But still had Ayuk.
Egbuka is a better prospect overall than Ricky Pearsall was. So again, this is to a greater extent the Ricky Pearsall play. You draft a player that you don't have a need for yet, and then you figure it out later, right? This is an Adunze, a Jason situation, just like you mentioned. All right, let's get into another rookie mock draft. I'm having a lot of fun. Hopefully you guys are too. If people want to join us, you can join our Discord. You'll see the Nightbot. All you got to do is !Discord. We are putting these links under the LAN tab in announcements. The link will be sent here, just so everybody knows exactly where the next link is going to go. But super excited to jump into another mock with you guys. But Aki, why don't you go ahead and send that link out?
I need that link, so you can send that link out.
Oh, shoot. I will send that link out. Do you want to join?
No, let them drive. Let's continue having some conversations, some good conversations here. I think it's pretty important for everyone here. But yeah, look, I think Emeka Egbuka is going to be a steal of this draft in the long term. Remember, obviously last year, Ricky Pearsall probably was going to be a late first round pick if that class wasn't as deep, because we knew Deebo Samuel was going to go. Brandon Ayuk, obviously we didn't think he was going to tear his ACL, but George Kittle, et cetera, et cetera. I am liking the way this is looking for Emeka Egbuka. The more we talk about it and the more we break it down, I'm actually pumped to get a little bit of Emeka
at a discount for sure. And you have to be very patient. Okay, you have to be very patient.
You do.
Ashton Genty comes off the board at the 101. That is how you and I would go. We would not go Hampton over Genty. Is it crazy? There's crazier things that people have done in a rookie draft. Okay, yes, admittedly, but you and I have been very, very, persistent on saying Genty is still the 101, and I still think he's in a tier of his own.
I think he is the 101. He is a tier of his own. I'm just gonna say this: I wouldn't be upset if someone wanted to take a Marion Hampton. Now, am I personally going to do that? Absolutely not. But I wouldn't be mad at you if you did and wanted to do that.
If that's the way you feel and you have the 101, I am begging you to become a land member on the Flock site so you can get our rookie tier down tool. Because if you truly feel that way, where Hampton and Genty are in the same tier, then let me tell you something. You can make some money. It's the same link as a playbook that you can open up. You can become a land annual Mother Flocker member. By the way, when you become a land annual Mother Flocker member, guys, for anyone out there who's about to be into some rookie drafts, you get our rookie report, you get a team playbook, which is a team review for your personal team. You get the Dynasty Trade Dial, which is a tool that has over 4,000 data points that tells you when to buy and sell every position at their peaks and valleys. You get our free trade question voucher, our rankings, all the premium tools and databases on the website. You join our Discord, which has some exclusives. By the way, I want to give a big shout out to our Discord, guys. If you haven't linked and you're a land member on the Flock site, if you haven't linked your Discord, I'm telling you, you're going to want to do so. We actually just added a feature in our Discord, okay, which is called the hotline. Now, you're only going to be able to access this if you are a land member on the Flock site, okay? But what we want to do is we want to start hearing from you guys more, which means that you can send a voice message in this chat, and as we start to get things rolling, eventually we will listen to about 3 to 5 voice chats per stream where you can kind of call in almost and ask us a question. We've been wanting to do these kind of call-in segments for a long time. So again, sync your Discord, go to the hotline. You can submit a voice message, keep it about 60 seconds. And if anyone does it today, maybe we can try the feature here, right now. Okay, so Genty, Hampton, Ted McMillan, Travis Hunter, and Travion Henderson come off the board. I have been very neutral to this quarterback class. I have been very consistent in saying I don't have a strong opinion on Ward. I don't have a strong opinion on Dart or Sanders. I think you can have reasons to be in. You can have reasons to be out. I still feel that way. Now, I have also consistently said that if Cam Ward is truly the number 1 overall pick, and he was, we know that he went to the Titans, then I will definitely consider him as early as the 103. So for me to be on the board at the 106 in a super flex format and to have Cam Ward available, it again speaks to the power of a tear down in a lot of leagues. So I'm going to go ahead and take Cam Ward here at the 106. They just signed Tyler Lockett. I would be shocked if they don't add a weapon in round 2, whether that be Burden or someone else that they love, a Higgins, a Knoll, I don't know. But I would be shocked if they don't add another weapon to that Tennessee Titans wide receiver room as well.
Yeah, I completely agree. Maybe hopefully in round 2. By the way, we need to do this giveaway. We haven't done it after the first mock draft.
Oh, that is true. Yes, we do need to do this giveaway. Let's do it after round 1, okay? After round 1, we'll do this giveaway. As Emike Buka comes off the board, Quinshon Judkins. I got to be honest, I am very strongly in the camp of Loveland over Egbuka. How about you? I love Egbuka. He should be a discount in your leagues, late first, early second. But I think Loveland should strongly be considered over Egbuka with that landing spot at 10 to the Bears.
Yeah, I completely agree. Loveland over Egbuka, 10 to the Bears. Phenomenal landing spot. Look, a lot of mouths to feed there now. Like, what happens if the Bears go out and get Henderson, Quinshon in the second round? You're like, damn, they got Loveland, Rome, DJ, Quinshon. You know, they got Caleb. That's a crazy room where there's gonna be a lot of mouths to feed. But yes, I agree. The capital is exactly where you want it to be. So taking Loveland over Egbuka at the 107 is something I would definitely do, especially if it's a tight end premium.
Yep, as Jackson Dart comes off the board there at the 111, and Crop Top Killer has one more pick to be made. I appreciate y'all for being here with us. Thank you so much for the love. Thank you so much for the support. We're having a fun time. If you're like us, then your favorite holiday is probably not Christmas or Thanksgiving. Your favorite holiday is the NFL draft weekend. So you're in the right place. Be a friend. Smash that like button and subscribe. We actually have about... How many subscribers until we're about 80 subscribers away from 20,000 subscribers. If we could somehow reach that on the stream, I mean, that would be chaotic. That would be absolutely chaotic.
That would be awesome if you can drop a like, subscribe. We really appreciate you guys hanging with us here as we're about to do a giveaway. We're going to be doing giveaways all throughout draft weekend, maybe even after that as well. Not only this rookie tear down, but maybe team playbooks, our rankings, and so much more. We're going to be most likely giving out throughout this weekend here. So definitely subscribe, turn on your notifications here, and we should do this giveaway.
Yes,
here.
we currently have 54 entries for you guys who have entered into the giveaway. You'll see that number right here on the bottom left. You see that 54 entries.
Yeah, 54 entries and 575 people. Nobody wants this tear down thing.
Well,
y'all crazy.
Yesterday we had like 100 with half the audience, so I'm surprised. But again, if you guys want to enter, all you got to do is type in land in the chat and like the stream. That's the only two things you have to do to enter to win the rookie teardown tool, early access to the rookie teardown tool. I appreciate y'all for being here with me. What I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to copy these entries in 1 second. I'm going to give you guys
People spamming now. People spamming now. So
I'm going to give them a second.
I'm
going to give them a second. All right, to enter this giveaway. And we have a super chat from LT Gray. I want to make sure I didn't miss any other super chats here while we've been streaming.
Yeah, I know. I think it was Chase or I forgot who it was, or Sammy Stacks. That was a member. Said Amarion with the bolts.
Yes.
If I can't scroll that up, I can't see that anymore. But we appreciate you. Thank you so much for being a member there.
LT Gray with the super chat, and he says Hunter should get IDP points for interceptions. Absolutely. In IDP leagues, let's talk about that. Travis Hunter has a legit rationale for the 101 in IDP leagues.
No question.
A legitimate
100%. I feel
case.
like this is easy. This is exactly what you want if you're in an IDP league, because if he was going to the Browns, I think it was more wide receiver. But now you're getting the best of both worlds. You're getting both of them, where you can get obviously defensive and then in that. So I'm excited for that if I am an IDP personally.
All right, guys, we're going to cut it off here in 3. We'll give you one more second, okay? 1 more second. I'm going to get the wheel up, and we're going to put all of your entries in here, and may the best man win. All right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. All entries have been copied, and now they have been pasted. Best of luck to whoever ends up winning. Congratulations. Let's go ahead and spin this off in 3, 2, 1. Our first giveaway on draft week, draft day. It goes to Thomasino S. If Thomasino S is in the chat, then please message right now in the chat and tell us your Discord username or your Twitter username and tell us which
Instagram,
platform
anything.
you're on, okay? And Badaki is going to go ahead and message you right here, right now, and show you some love. Again, big shout out to Thomasino.
Thomas, and he put in the chat there, so that's awesome. Thomas, you're with us. Like Zach said, put an Instagram handle, a Discord handle. You do whatever you want, your Twitter handle, and I'll send you a message right now, and we can get connected. I can send you that right away, and I'll send that to you immediately.
And we have a brand new giveaway. All right, and let's go ahead and give away another one of these rookie teardown tools. Again, if you want to get entered in to win one, all you got to do from here on out is type land into the chat again and like the stream. If you've done those two things, we're going to give this away one more time on today's stream, and you can go ahead and enter right now moving forward. All right, let's get into round 2 here, as well as Loveland goes off the board at the 109, then Golden at the 110, Dart at the 111, and Tyler Warren at the 112. I do think Tyler Warren is going to end up being a value. At the beginning of this offseason, I personally felt as if Tyler Warren was a little bit overvalued in these drafts. And now I think it's going to flip. I think it's going to flip to the point where Tyler Warren is actually going to become a huge value. I was constantly saying, Loveland's the best value. Loveland's the best value. I think it's going to flip now. And Tyler Warren's going to end up being a huge value in drafts.
Yeah, look, it definitely can go that way. I mean, I need to know a little bit more about this Tyler Warren, this situation, how they really like him, how they viewing him. I remember last year when Brock Bowers went to the Raiders and no one seemed excited. Remember that?
Yeah.
When he walks in and then everyone was like, "Hey, thanks for being here." It's like, brother, you just took me in the first round, and then he finishes as a tight end 1. I need to know a little bit more about Tyler Warren in that situation. But yeah, look, I can understand that. I can understand like having the value there from Tyler Warren in the back end.
Rick Morty with the super chat here says, guys, am I crazy for considering trading JMO for the 201? I would say at this point, after seeing 2 rounds, I would probably prefer Jamison Williams over the 201. How would you feel about that? I mean, Sanders isn't going to be round 1, so he's dead to me. Y'all know the historical hit rates for round 2 quarterbacks are dog shit, respectfully. So that's not going to happen. Sanders isn't going to help you with the early second round. Burden is going to be a second round pick, as we know. I guess the only way that you would regret that is if all 3 of Henderson, Judkins, and Johnson go round 2. So
yeah, I mean,
if Henderson, Judkins, and Johnson all go round 2, I think then you'll probably prefer the 201 over Jameson, but it's very close.
Yeah, I completely agree. It is very close. It's really going to depend on what happens day 2 or 3. But I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that if that is going to be the case here. We're still waiting on that message here from Thomas. Thomas, who the winner, let us know once again a handle or anything. If you're probably trying to send the link, it's probably not going to send. So just type in your Discord name or your Twitter name or Instagram name, and I'll add you and I'll send you a message. Or you can add me. You can add me or Zach, and we can get that all sorted there. But let us know. So I know a lot of people are typing. I've been trying to focus on getting his name there. That handle.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, I have no idea what to do here. This is why I only made these drafts 2 rounds, because at this point, we just don't have very much information to go off of. You know, I guess I'll take Jalen Royals, who I love a lot in this draft. Appreciate everybody for being here. Much love for showing some support. I will just say quickly that the draft weekend is going to be chaotic, but we've already got people signing up for their team playbooks, and if you're out there and you want to know what to do with your draft capital and how it would impact your dynasty team, then I think the best resource on the internet right now is going to be a team playbook. And if you're out there, you haven't gotten a full playbook yet, we call it a customized game plan for your offseason. All you need to do to get your team playbook is become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. You'll get a voucher that you can use through the Flock store, and then obviously choose Zach and Badaki there. If you want it done live, it's just about $7 extra for annual members. So again, if you want to get your team playbook, you want to know what to do with your draft picks, then I would definitely advise you to become a LAND annual Mother Flocker member. All right, should we do one more sleeper mock draft? What do you guys think? Do we want to get into another sleeper mock draft here? I say
we do some sleepers, and then we put our money where our mouth is with some fast draft guys, and then we can get some of these values, which is going to be awesome here. So once Zach is setting that up, once again, Thomas, if you can send us that username, and if not, then maybe we got to roll it again. I don't know. But I see a couple good questions in the chat as people in conversations. Some really quick things that we did speak about on the redraft channel was day 1 winners, small winners as of now before the second round if it continues to go in this way. Jerry Jeudy is the first one. Travis Hunter does not go to the Cleveland Browns. We all thought that. We were all saying you got to sell Jerry Jeudy because Travis Hunter was a locked in going to the Cleveland Browns. But now he's not there. He doesn't go to the Cleveland Browns. Jerry Jeudy is probably going to be the number 1 wide receiver. And I don't think there's anyone, maybe there's some like the Knowles or the Higgins or whoever that you really love that can potentially go in the second round. Now that they have 2 second round picks, is pretty good as a small winner of today. Another one in the chat as well that people are talking about that I also did mention on the redraft channel was Tyrone Tracy. Yeah. Now, the reason why Tyrone Tracy is a small winner is because the Giants give up their early second round pick and their late third round pick. Now, they have to address other issues. As a Giants fan, you hope that they get an offensive lineman. If they don't, that's totally fine. But also depends on who falls. Is Caleb Johnson still available in the third round? Right? Is DJ Giddens still available in the third round? Do they take him? Then maybe that's a different conversation. But those are 2 quick, small winners going into day 2, and hopefully it stays that way.
By the way, we do have an entry for one of our LAND members in the hotline over on Discord. Again, this is for promo code LAND on the Flock site. Members, when you link your Discord, you get access to the hotline, and this will be our first ever entry. So,
oh my God, this is awesome, and this is so weird because I get to hear your voices.
Yeah, we have never heard your guys' voices, but here is Sammy Stacks with his first hotline entry. Let's have a listen together.
Here.
Yo, what's going on, fellas? Your boy Sammy Stacks here.
I love it.
In the flesh. I'm with Zach on Tyler Warren. I don't get why we're all down on this, especially in relation to Colston Loveland. in Indy, no target competition, nothing. He'll be the one. He'll be playing 100% of snaps. A-Rich will get benched in week 3. Daniel Jones slinging it. Arch Manning slinging it in 2026. I'm Warren over Loveland.
Okay.
Let me know your thoughts. I'll hang up and listen.
Okay.
I love the confidence. In fact, I love this feature. I want so badly for us to have a hotline where you guys can call in, and that's why we created that. I loved that experience right there. Here's what I will say. I am still Loveland over Warren, but I agree with him in the sense of I think all the rationale that he used is very fair. Loveland has to compete with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze. I don't see anyone in that Colts offense that is a serious threat to Warren being the number 1 target.
I think the difference there, and I would just say a little nitpick, is that we have seen Sam Laporta be really successful with the top running back. We have seen Sam Laporta be successful with the top wide receiver. Can we see Loveland be successful? Who, respectfully, a guy that we were dogging the past couple years and we love this year, and DJ Moore, who just had really his first breakout, Rome Odunze, who hasn't broken out, and at the moment they have a quarterback that hasn't proven themselves either. We still believe he's better than Anthony Richardson.
I know he and Bowers are different level of prospects. I get that. But what if what you just said didn't apply to Bowers last year?
Situation. He didn't have anyone competing with him. Devontae Adams, 3 weeks? 2 weeks until he got traded? Who else was competing with him?
I think Devontae Adams, if you had Devontae Adams on his team, and we're talking about when the draft happened, when you were making that decision to draft Brock Bowers or not. I think you can make a very strong case.
And that's
Tyler Warren's path to being the number 1 weapon is far clearer.
Well, that was. I'm saying that I'm bringing the conversation to the sense of like we've seen success in Ben Johnson's type of offense.
Okay.
With a top wide receiver, a top running back, and a top tight end. So we haven't seen 2 top wide receivers there now with Rome Odunze, but that's kind of where my thought process is going. That would be my only my counter. Okay. But I understand like having Warren and wanting Warren to be that high.
I love it. It's extremely fun conversation to have. And anyone out there who is a promo code LAND member on the Flock site, please, I'm begging you, go to the Discord. I want to hear more from you guys. I think this could be such a cool way for us to connect to you guys, our audience. You guys are great. You have so many good ideas. I'm going to put that Discord link in the chat. Again, if you already linked your membership on the Flock site to the Discord, you'll be able to access this. I'd be happy to get another couple people in there if we want to hear some more opinions after day 1.
100%.
But I'm having a lot of fun. I hope you guys are having fun too. Do us a favor, smash that like button. We're almost at our like goal, which was 250. We're only 15 likes away now, which is absolutely nutty. But let's go ahead and transition here into the next part of today's stream. Is that okay?
Yeah, really quick though, I want to answer this super chat, and then we can transition.
Go ahead, yeah.
No, Rick and Morty, appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. It says, I know it's early to say, but if Tolbert remains the number 2 in Dallas, does his value increase, and by how much? I mean,
no,
look, I don't think it doesn't increase at all. You really didn't see that. Yeah, you didn't see that last year, and I don't think that's really going to change with the situation if the situation doesn't change again. So I think he's a good flyer. If he's on any waiver wires, why not pick him up if you don't spend any fab on him? But nothing is really going to change personally.
Yes, no, that is very fair, and I would have to go ahead and agree with Badaki there wholeheartedly. All right, guys, so it's all fun and games. You know, take Omarion Hampton 101. Shout out to JCM. I hope he gets into a fast draft with us. It's all fun and games to take Omarion Hampton 101 in a mock draft, right? It's all fun to say, you know what? I'm going to take Burden over a round 1 quarterback in a mock draft. I'm going to let Emeka Egbuka fall. It's all fun and games to let Cam Ward fall to the 106 in a mock draft. But what happens when you actually have to put your money where your mouth is? We're going to be jumping into some real rookie drafts on the Origins Chaos Tourney. This is a best ball rookie only tourney. It's very simple. You draft 6 rookies. We've been doing this for the last couple weeks. It's been so fun on stream. There's no position limitations. It's only rookies. There's a 20-second clock, and it's full PPR format. If you guys want to draft with us, I'll put a link in the chat for you. And if you have never drafted on FastDraft before, Very, very simple way to join us. That is by downloading the FastDraft app. When you sign up, use a promo code LAND. We'll match your deposit up to $50. That is 10 free drafts on us. And when you finish your first contest, I'm going to send you my 2025 rookie report, the latest version, and my season rankings completely free. And by the way, if you're a member on the Flock site with the promo code LAND, please DM me because I also want to give you a free trade question voucher. But let's go ahead and let's jump into a FastDraft tournament. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter myself. Would love for you guys to join us, but this is why we call it chaos. This is why we call it chaos, because we're right in the middle of the actual NFL draft, and you can put your real money where your mouth actually is. So I would love for you guys to join us on the FastDraft app. Let's get some real rookie tournaments going on here.
Let me see if I can get into one. And these are almost filled up as well.
Yeah,
I'm trying to join.
The tourney is almost filled up, isn't it? For the
tourney is almost filled up here, so I think we might have a limited times if we can do a couple of these. I feel like we could potentially, however long we're doing it, but
we might fill it up tonight together.
Yeah, 100%, which would be awesome. So
JCM says, I don't want to compare Warren situation and Bauer simply because Warren isn't close to the same prospect, which is fair. Yeah. That's a fair point, and I made sure to say that for sure when we were talking about him. I totally hear where you're coming from. Guys, 4 spots remaining here in this FastDraft Origins tournament, rookie only tournament. We'd love for you to join us. Again, with the promo code LAND, when you sign up, you get your deposit matched up to $50. We would love for you guys to join us here. 4 spots remaining. Feel free to keep submitting your questions in the chat as well. Tyler says, what would you do to get Trevor Lawrence? I think probably he's right around like that 108 range, 110 as far as a 2025 rookie pick. Would you say the same?
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Okay.
I think I'm interested. You know what? Let me look up on Keep Trade Cut and see what his value is, and let's see. And we can come back in a couple of days by the end of the draft and see where Trevor Lawrence is going to be ranked, because I think his value is going to skyrocket now having Trevor Lawrence, or having you know who I mean, Travis Hunter there. He's currently QB 19. Currently QB 19, hasn't moved as of today. Quarterbacks ahead of him right now, as we still have 3 spots in this fast draft. Michael Penix, Baker Mayfield, Brock Purdy. I can see him moving ahead of the likes of a Baker Mayfield if you move him down. Maybe a Michael Penix, depending on the overall situation. Do they go out and get a running back in day 2? No, actually they can't, because they gave their second round pick, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
So I could definitely see him being moved up here for sure.
You know, we have 2 spots remaining. Just while we wait for those to fill, I wanted to quickly give you guys a heads up. Oops, apologize. I wanted to quickly give you guys a heads up on where my rankings currently stand myself. So for the wide receiver position, let's go running back first. For the running back position, this is exactly what we felt, and this is how we have been valuing Ashton Jeanty the entire offseason. We said, look, if you're going to trade away the 101, you need to get an absolute haul. We consistently said that because we thought that we'd put Jeanty right there with Gibbs and Bijan in that same tier, and that's exactly where I stand right now still. I would still put Ashton Jeanty in that same tier with Jahmyr Gibbs and with Bijan Robinson. Would you say that's where you would value him as well?
Yeah, I would value him as well. I feel really confident there with Ashton Jeanty. What about Omarion? Did you talk about Omarion yet?
I did. I swear I added Omarion. It must not have saved. So let me add him again here. Where I would value him is right around RB5, I think. So I don't think it's crazy. Some people might say it's crazy, but I would put him right there, right above Bucky and Devon Achane. He is my 102 in my rankings. He will be. So I think it would be Hampton, Bucky, Achane in that order. I would prefer him over a lot of these names. With Saquon Barkley, signed that 3-year deal in Philadelphia, it would be hard to put him over Saquon Barkley, but I would probably comfortably put Omarion there right at running back 5 overall. How would you feel about that?
Yeah, I'll be okay with that. I think it can be interchangeable. Maybe if you're rebuilding, you can have Omarion as your 4, depending on your team. Sure. But yeah, look, there's really no rhyme or reason why you shouldn't be taking Saquon with that contract extension over Omarion.
And by the way,
so I completely agree.
I want to say a big shout out to G Money. I appreciate you, man, with that $20 donation, showing some love. That's very kind of you. At wide receiver, this is where I currently rank this class. Okay, so I had Ted McMillan at 18 overall, Travis Hunter at 19. I keep going back and forth, guys. I don't know where I stand. I think Odunze was a better prospect than Ted McMillan, but with Travis Hunter, we have to ask the question, how much offense will he play or will he not? You know, so it's definitely a question that you have to ask yourself. But outside of those two names, I think I put Golden. It didn't save, unfortunately, when I was adding him. But Golden, I put right around wide receiver 26. I don't know if that's too high or too low. It's just my initial reaction. Right around the Jalen Waddle range, Jameson Williams, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison. I think he would kind of go right into that range for me. In fact, I might have actually put him right ahead of Olave. I can't remember. No, I think I put him right here. But I did extend this tier with Olave.
You extended, you added Chris Olave and Matthew Golden into that tier, actually.
Yeah, okay.
That's what you ended up doing there. One spot left here in this Origins. If you guys signed up, like Zach said, that link is in the chat there. You can get signed up, use that promo code LAND, start drafting, kind of putting your money where your mouth is, taking some of these guys in the first round. I'm really excited to see where some of these guys are going to go here.
Yeah, and as far as the tight end overall rankings, I think we have two guys that enter into our top 5 pretty much instantly. Loveland and Warren there at tight end 4 and at tight end 5, just so you guys know exactly where I stand. All right, let's get into a real tourney here. We're putting real money where our mouth is, all right? It doesn't matter anymore what you think you do in a mock draft. Now you actually have to make the pick in a real tourney here. Again, right. $5,000 prize pot up for grabs here. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. And if you want to draft with us here on some FastDraft tourneys, then use the promo code LAND, download the FastDraft app. We'll match your deposit up to $50. And I'll give you my 2025 rookie report and season rankings free when you do so. As Ashton Genty goes at the 101, then Cam Ward at the 102.
Over a Marion there for Figs there. I wonder if he believes that I guess he's gonna just have a better outcome here. So let's see. I think I know who I want.
All right, as the first 6 picks are in, we get Genty, Ward, Hampton, Henderson, McMillan, and Hunter. And this might be, I don't think this is hyperbole to say this, this might be the first real money rookie draft you guys are seeing after we know the landing spots. I think this might be the first one televised on the internet after we know the landing spots for the first round picks. So this is very, very exciting to kind of digest together. So we have Genty, Ward, Hampton, Henderson, McMillan, Hunter, Judkins, Golden, and now Sparrow is up on the clock. What's up, Moon?
I'll go Matthew Golden.
What's up, Mooney? Yes, the Origins tournament is just based on the 2025 season. The only question you need to ask is who's going to score the most points in the year 2025. And wow, this actually gets really difficult now.
It's difficult because at the end you think, oh, Shador and Mika, how great. So now you have to take a couple chances, you know. Do you take I was going to say you probably got to take Warren there. I didn't know if you were going to take him or not. I was waiting to see.
I love Igbuka as a pick in a Dynasty rookie league draft, but in a best ball tournament for the 2025 season, I think it would be tough to justify Igbuka too high in this specific tournament. You know what I mean? I'm
interested to know where Mbuka is going to be looking. I'm going to take a shot on him personally.
Okay.
I'm going to take a shot at him personally because look, what happens if Mike Evans misses some time? What happens if Chris Godwin is still not 100%? We saw what happened last year. Remember when Mike Evans went down, Chris Godwin went down? They resulted into Cade Otton and Jalen McMillan stepped up. And Mika Mbuka can take those opportunities. And that's a big what if, right? That's a big, we got to hope that he's going to be the guy. But I'd rather take that shot rather over, Shador Sanders is still a good pick as well, if you think about it, because I think Thomas messaged me just then.
From the giveaway?
Okay, from the giveaway, yeah, he messaged me on Instagram. Okay, awesome, Thomas. If you're still here, I'll send you that after after the live stream. But yeah, even Shador Sanders, because if he goes to the Steelers, he can still be the starter, right? It just really all depends. And then for example, Jeffrey, if he comes back tomorrow and he's like, damn, I got Shador at the 204, and he goes to Cleveland, if he goes to Pittsburgh, that's prime.
No, I absolutely agree. As D Macy's about to make a pick here, we get Burden, then Egbuka, Sanders, Scadaboo, Sampson, Harvey, Knoll, Higgins, Trey Harris. Am I losing my mind? Has no one taken Jackson Dart?
No, because no one believes he's going to be the starter this year.
I mean, we're in a best ball tournament. I'll take Jackson Dart the 301.
Yep.
What a start from me. Tyler Warren,
start.
Caleb Johnson, and Jackson Dart at the 301.
The start is great. I completely agree. I think
Let's do our damn thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Did people forget Dart exists? And yeah, look.
I don't know if Jeff is drafting with us, if he's in the chat, if he's just on the app, but I would love to hear why he felt Sanders over Dart there. That would be interesting to hear for sure. What's up, Trax? He says, how do you feel about your Jalen McMillan shares? I feel the same as you. Devastated. Devastated because not only was he a great hit in last year's class, he broke out in a way that no one expected him to. And then they decided, we're going to go get another receiver. The process was completely sound. Everything made sense for you to draft him and for him to be a sleeper that broke out. And he did. But the team's actions don't line up with it, unfortunately. It just made things very confusing.
Yeah. And obviously you see a run. I go get Jalen Milroe, who was a guy we haven't really spoken about too much. Was invited to the NFL draft there in Green Bay. Doesn't get picked. But there are teams still that do need a quarterback now. A second round quarterback hit rate in this best ball format or fast draft format doesn't really matter, because if he does go to Cleveland, if he does go to Pittsburgh, the chance of him starting is pretty significant here. And Cleveland has two early second round picks. They can go offensive, defensive, and still get a quarterback. I'm still going to take a chance on Milroe.
I think I agree with you on Milroe. I think Sanders is dead in the water for me in a tournament like this. Mm-hmm. The likelihood of you starting is just not very high, but I agree. If Milroe goes somewhere because of the rushing upside, I think he's worth taking a shot on. But man, I'll be honest, like outside of that, I just think we could be burning money here.
We definitely could. And if by tomorrow and Jalen Milroe goes, 34th or 33rd technically overall in the second round to the Browns, Milroe is a steal. And I think a lot of people, then you'll see Milroe shoot up in these drafts and even in your rookie drafts potentially, because of the opportunity of him to start.
Sure. By the way, we had Devin Neal come off the board, Bashul Tootin, DJ Giddens, Ollie Gordon, Jack Besh, Kyle Williams, Damian Martinez, then into round 4 where Harold Fannin, Mason Taylor, Brashard Smith, Alec A. Manor, Jordan James, Isaiah Bond, and Woody Marks are off the board, and now Badaki is here before your boy is about to have back-to-back picks on the turn. What are you thinking here?
Yeah, I'm going to go with a Jarquise Hunter. Let's see. There's another guy I do want.
Okay.
I'm going to see if he falls back to me here.
All right, Jarquise Hunter off the board, ladies and gentlemen. And again, we kind of it's fun doing this contest during the draft because there's still so many unknowns. It's like part of the puzzle now, but there's still so much that you don't have the answer to. I think it's a really fun experiment, to be honest. I am going to go Elijah Arroyo here. I'm a big fan of him. Then I'm going to come back and grab Jaden Blue, who's gotten a decent amount of hype in these contests. But we're going to do another fast draft here after this one. If you guys are out there and you haven't drafted yet on fast draft, I would definitely suggest to come have some fun with us. We're going to be drafting quite often this offseason. Obviously, right now during draft weekend, it's special because of the hype. But if you want to draft with us, it's very simple. Download the FastDraft app on any platform. Use the promo code LAND at signup. We'll match your deposit up to $50. That is 10 free drafts on us. And when you finish your first contest, I'm going to send you my rookie report and my 2025 season rankings. Now, I'm going to wait to send that rookie report until we have the updated version. So if you've signed up and you haven't gotten an email yet from me, just know that we're waiting to update that rookie report so you get the latest version, okay? So just be aware of that. But I also want to say, if you're a member on the Flock site with the promo code LAND and you sign up, DM me. I'm going to give you a free trade question voucher for the site as well.
Yeah, we got another hotline. I don't know if you want to go ahead and pull that up. Chase and Breaker put one in there.
Oh, sweet.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool as we're getting into the last round here of this fast draft. That'll be awesome to.
Okay, yeah, let's do that then. If you guys
so
don't
cool to
know,
listen to the voices as well.
we implemented a feature on our Discord recently that is just for LAN members on the Flock site. So if you want to link your Discord, definitely do it through the Flock site. Go to account and then sync Discord, and you should be able to see the hotline feature right here. And this is basically a way for you to call into the show and ask a question to Badaki and I. We want this to become a more regular thing, simply because we want to connect with you guys better. And want to give you an opportunity to be a part of the show. So let's hear from Chase and Breaker here, our second ever edition of the Fantasy Hotline.
Hey guys, what's going on? Happy draft night.
Yes, sir.
Chasing Breakers here.
OG.
Travis Hunter question.
Okay.
I know that historical hit rates say round 1 running backs are the way to go, but if we truly believe a lot of the evaluations that say Travis Hunter is a generational talent and he's about to go into what looks to be an elite offensive system with Liam Cohen,
Sure.
why wouldn't we consider him at least the 102, if not the 101?
Man, it's a good question.
Appreciate you.
It's a good question. Appreciate you, Chase and Breakers. Thanks
Appreciate you.
for submitting that. This is fun.
Awesome.
I genuinely love hearing from you
I
guys.
honestly think it's cool to hear you guys' voice. We
Seriously.
put you behind names and like little icons, and it's like it's cool to have that connection. But it is a good question.
I'm going to jump into another fast draft tournament, by the way, while we answer this one.
Yeah,
If you guys want to join us.
I'll jump in here as well.
I think the distinction for me, again, just comes down to the complete unknowns around his roles. You know, I think that's why, you know, you got a running back. How often do running backs go top 6 in an NFL draft? I mean, is Zeke Elliott and Saquon Barkley the last one in the last decade that it's happened? I can't remember, right? So because it's so rare for that to happen, go ahead.
I'll tell you a fun fact that I heard by mainstream media. The last time a wide receiver was taken 2nd overall was Calvin Johnson.
That's true. But we knew he was playing wide receiver.
Yes, and I think
there were no questions.
Never been a cornerback that's been taken 2nd overall either.
Yeah.
So I think that's also a huge indication of maybe how people are really viewing Travis. Well, specifically the Jags now. The Jags are viewing Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I mean, I can confidently say that none of us have ever been in this situation. Apologies. My stream deck broke, so I'm doing this all manually. I can confidently say that none of us have ever been in this situation where we have to decide just how much of the offensive side of the ball someone is going to play. Do you know what I mean? We've never been in that situation before. So that's what makes it so nerve-wracking for me, is I can't guarantee exactly how much work he's going to get. I do think he's going to get a significant amount. I've advocated for that. But we just know, Genty, if you look at hit rates for players in the top 6 at the running back position in the first round, the hit rate in the last 11 years is 100%. There has not been a running back drafted in Ashton Genty's position in the last 11 years at minimum that has not hit for fantasy football. And oftentimes their upside is through the roof.
Yeah, I hear you.
Zeke Elliott, Saquon Barkley. These are the names that we're talking about.
Shake Sean.
So it's a fair question. And I agree with JCM. Question. They didn't trade up just for a cornerback. I agree. But I think that is my hesitation, is just simply like, we've never had to ask that question before. And that's why I stand there personally.
Yeah, no, that's a great question there, Jason. Thank you so much for that. All right, we see the board. Ashton, Travis Hunter at the 102. I go Cam Ward, Amarion, Travion, Tet, Golden, Judkins, Loveland, and Zach's the 110 again. Maybe he's gonna shake it up this time, but maybe he's gonna be going with Tyler Warren potentially again, getting that exposure up.
I loved being at the 110. Now I have to make these decisions that are impossible to make. I'll grab a Mika Ibuka. Jeez. Good Lord.
It's tough, isn't it?
I think I have to go Jackson Dart. I actually don't want to be at the 10 spot in this draft anymore.
The whole time he's like, let's switch, man.
I want to be at the 7 spot now. I think this is where it actually starts to pan out for you, unfortunately.
Oh, dude. It's going to be interesting. Like, I think, especially for Jackson Dart, you really have to believe that, you know, if Russell Wilson gets injured, which he's been historically healthy his whole career outside of, I think, his last year in Seattle, he's going to be starting all 18 games. So I doubt we're going to see Jackson Dart on the field.
It's fair.
But if we do, I don't know if it's gonna be straight Jackson. I think it's gonna go to Jameis, unless Russell Wilson like tears his ACL, and then Jameis is on the field and he's losing games, and they throw Dart in there.
Yeah,
that's the only way I can really see that happening.
And by the way, Bo, we can't include Trent Richardson into this conversation. Number one, my research only goes to the last 11 years. Sometimes that research, the further you go back, the less it represents today's NFL. But also, Trent Richardson.
Whoa, wait!
Where was he drafted?
You're telling me Trent Richardson was drafted 11 years ago? Over 11 years ago? That's crazy. Yeah. You're on the clock, by the way.
I am on the clock. Thank you for letting me know.
I'm pretty sure Trent Richardson was a first rounder, right?
Oh, no, he was a first round, no doubt. I just need to double check where he went, like what pick. He was a 3rd overall pick in 2012. So 2012 now, if you think about it, that is now, what, 14, 15 years ago?
Yo, that's crazy to think about. I honestly remember that draft.
Yeah, same.
I remember him going, and then people are like, he's going to change the game. The Colts, they're going to be different. It's just everything was going to happen.
What's up, Alex? Jalen McMillan, unfortunately, is going to take a huge hit in value. There's no way around it. He's going to take a huge hit. You don't draft a wide receiver in round 1 and then re-sign 2 receivers in the past 2 years that have been massive producers for you and not have Jalen McMillan take a hit. It's unfortunate, but
yeah, it is
just the reality.
Look, there is hope. I think he goes back to, think of McMillan lifespan. It's reset. You reset. It's back to square one because now you have to wait and see what's going to happen. You know what? I haven't taken this guy at all. I've been hearing a lot about him going day 2. I'm going to take Ollie Gordon.
Wow.
I got 2 quarterbacks in Ollie Gordon. I haven't taken him at all. Been hearing a lot on him. Just following the reports.
Okay, I want to get another hotline in here if that's okay. We've got another one submission here. And this one is from TD Vulture.
Man, I met him out there in the meetup.
He's been a longtime supporter of the channel. And again, I'm glad we can do this for our LAN members. It's so fun to hear from you guys in this format. But let's hear from TD here.
Thought I'd give it a try.
Come on, TD. What you got?
What draft pick would you trade for Michael Penix?
Ooh, good question. What draft pick would you trade for Michael Penix? Wow, that's actually a really good question.
So, I mean, from this draft class right now?
From this draft class.
I would say 102. From where it's panned out right now.
I don't think it would cost you that.
I don't think it would cost him that.
I think 104 is probably what it costs. And I'd be comfortable to do that.
Yeah, I don't think it would cost that, but I think if you're looking at the value and the people in these people's landing spots, and I think based off landing spot and what people would rather have, they would rather have Michael Penix over the 102. I could be wrong, but I agree.
I don't think so, because if you think about a startup draft right now, Badaki, where does Michael Penix go in almost all of our startup drafts we've done? Think about that, though.
Sure.
Round 4?
Yeah, round 4.
Round 5? Somewhere around there?
Now, you're telling me Travis Hunt, or hypothetically, depending on who goes at the 102, are these guys going to go over? I think we can lock in Ashton Genty.
Hampton is going to go before Penix in startups.
Okay, so then
Tet
what about
probably
Travis?
will. I don't know about Travis because people might be concerned about him. I still think like 104 to 106 range.
I think people would still probably take the quarterback over Tet. But I agree, like I see that perspective. I think I might be on the clock here.
I think I'm gonna commit to saying the 105 you could probably do. Comfortably.
Flock Class is closer to the 106. Yeah, look, based on value in general, is definitely in that area. I think a lot of people are now putting names with the pick in the landing spot. I think people are going to want to change that a little bit. I'm about to be on the clock.
To be fair, like, to defend you, I prefer Michael Penix over Cam Ward in Dynasty rankings right now. So if you're asking the question, like, overall, do you prefer Ward or Penix? I do prefer Penix, and Ward is probably going to be the consensus 103. So I think you make a good point, but I don't think he's going to cost that much is what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's where my mind went to. I went straight to how people are valuing these players now, knowing their landing spot based off of, obviously, the NFL draft. So, but yes.
And look, that's fair. That's fair. But a good conversation. Definitely a good conversation to have. That's awesome. I love the hotline. I'm obsessed with it. Feel free to keep going, guys, if you're over there. What's up, Trax? He says, with how the draft is shaping up, do you see Burden, Henderson, Judkins, Sanders go? Where do you see them go? I think Burden could go Patriots, Titans. I think it'll probably be early round 2. And I think Henderson, Judkins will probably be round 2 picks as well. Let's say Cowboys. I don't remember if the Broncos have their pick, but Cowboys, Bears, these type of teams, the Bengals, as much as I don't want to say it, are a possibility.
Yeah, let's see this updated board here. Let's see this full order. Yeah, I agree. Like, I mean, you kind of have to envision New England taking a running back potentially in the third. I mean, excuse me, in the second, the 38th overall pick. Yeah. I mean, you kind of have to envision one of those guys going there. Cowboys have the 44th overall pick. The thing is, Quinshawn can be gone before then. Quinshawn and Travion could be gone before Dallas's pick at 44.
Yeah.
So that's going to be an interesting situation there for Dallas. They're going to get probably the 4th best running back in this draft class. Watch them get like a Cam Scadaboot in the early second.
I can see it happening. All right, I'm on the clock here. I'm going to make the last pick of this specific draft. And we will grab Dylan Gabriel. I think he could be like a Brock Purdy type, if that makes sense. All right, let's get into another one here. I'm having a lot of fun. If you guys don't know what's going on, we are drafting in the Origins tournament. It is a rookie-only best ball tournament. The only question that you have to ask in these tournaments is who's going to score the most points. There's no positional limitations. It's full PPR scoring. And again, the only question you have to ask is this year in 2025, who do I think scores the most points? So that's the only question you have to ask. If you're out there and you haven't drafted with us yet, it's very simple to draft with us. All you need to do is download the FastDraft app on any platform. Use the promo code LAND at signup. We're going to match your deposit up to $50. That is 10 free drafts on us. When you finish your first contest, we're going to send you our rookie report as well as my season rankings, my cheat sheet, completely free. And by the way, if you're a member of the Flock site with the promo code LAND, feel free to DM me. I'm going to give you a free trade question voucher as well as a thank you from us to you. We've got 4 more spots in this fast draft. I'll put a link in the chat for you as well. And let me go ahead and make that the pinned comment so you can easily find it should you want to draft with us. But also feel free to ask us any questions that you might have about it. 3 spots remaining now in this Origins tourney. Appreciate y'all for being here. Big time.
That's love.
Track says, with Hampton going to the Chargers, do you think it's going to be a 50-50 split, or will it mainly be Hampton because of round 1 draft capital? I think you don't sign Najee Harris not to use him at all. So
I agree.
Najee's going to have a role, but he's only on a 1-year contract. So remember that. He's on a 1-year contract. We have first-round capital, which is very sticky for a running back. So I think Hampton will have maybe a smaller role than you want week 1, but I think by the end of the season, he's going to have a firm grasp on that. Like, you might not be excited about having him in week 1, but by week 10, you're going to be thrilled that you have him on your team is how I view it.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, I'll second that.
Absolutely. What's up, Alex? He says, you think they move Godwin back to the outside after he dominated the slot? Unfortunately, I don't
I think
understand
so.
why they draft Igbokwe if they don't, but I guess
I
they
think
can move
so.
Igbokwe outside.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier, Alex. I kind of broke it down a little bit, talking about Emeka Egbuka and how I believe they get a new offensive coordinator. Liam Cohn is no longer there; he's with Jacksonville. I personally believe they move him outside. They'll have a three-headed monster on the field probably at all times. I said, outside of two wide receiver sets, you're going to see him in that slot option. First round pick. I mean, I would love to know that. I mean, maybe in the video you could break that down, but like, how many times did they run three wide receivers? You know?
Yeah. Well, the difficult part is we need to ask how much did the new coordinator who's coming over to Tampa Bay, which I don't know who it is, how often did he run three wide receiver sets? One more spot in this Origins tourney here. We do have another submission over on the hotline. So let me take us over there.
Oh, do we?
Real fast. And, oops. This one is from Sparrow. Big shout out to Sparrow. Here's his submission on the hotline. Again, if you're a land member on the Flock site, you can submit a 60-second voice message, under 60 second to us. And we like to, like a call-in to the show, basically. Here's Sparrow here. Here's his question.
Yo, giving this hotline a try.
Yes, sir.
I believe Tedro McMillan is clearly above Travis Hunter because he's the clear wide receiver one on his team.
Okay.
And he will be playing every snap on offense. And I believe they're both just as good prospects.
Okay.
So I would much rather have the player who I know will be playing every snap on offense versus someone who could be playing 70%. Even if they play 80%, I'd rather have Tedro McMillan.
Okay. And that is the logical choice. Like, if you sit down and you just think about it logically and you're doing a little risk aversion here, that makes sense. Does it not? I mean, you don't have to guess in this scenario, apologies. You don't have to guess in this scenario how many snaps Ted McMillan's going to play.
Look, I completely agree. It's kind of what I said earlier. I was trying to take it to the next level here and really trying to figure out who their opponents. You got to think about, Jacksonville's opponents, 2025 opponents, right? We know for a fact that they're going to be playing against Nico Collins, a top wide receiver in that division already, right? So you have Nico Collins. They play the Titans. Really not anyone they really have to worry about within their division. But then you have the Chargers. You have the Rams. So you're playing against the Rams. You're probably down hypothetically 2 touchdowns. You got to lock up Puka. You got to lock up Devontae Adams. You play the Seattle Seahawks, right? I mean, you don't really have to I don't think he's going to be following Jackson in the slot. But then you have the Jets with Garrett Wilson. And the Broncos. We can really break this down in depth, but
one
it just
more
depends.
spot in this fast draft tourney, by the way, guys. Just want to let you guys know. One more spot. Let's get one more of these drafts done today. At least I want to get into one where I'm not at the back end of the board. But sorry, I just want to add to the conversation. There is no Brian Thomas in Carolina to take away targets. Now, I don't think target share should be a real conversation here. And the reason I don't think it should be is simply because there are only 2 names that you're really going to feed in Jacksonville. It's Brian Thomas and it's Travis Hunter. Parker Washington, we like Parker Washington. But come on. Like, Parker Washington is not going to take away from this wide receiver room. He's not going to hurt the target share that you could potentially gain as a rookie. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I completely agree. And look, I would agree with Sparrow. I'm going to be taking 10. As of right now, I'm going to be taking 10. And there's still a lot of things that we need to know. I said this earlier. What happens if the Jags the Jags go out and draft Alec Manor? They go draft Jalen Noel in the 2nd or 3rd round, even though I don't believe that. But could that potentially happen? And I think that is a possibility there. And we finally got into one. So I appreciate the hotline there, Sparrow, and everyone that has submitted.
It's so fun. I love it.
It is fun.
I'm obsessed with it.
To hear you guys' voices, honestly, it's literally like we're finally having a conversation.
Yeah,
with
it's
more
so cool.
than words. And Zach got the 101 here, so he's buzzing.
I am buzzing. I'm about to draft Amarian Hampton. No, I'm kidding. I'm about to draft Ashton Genty at the 101. No questions asked. How many touches does Ashton Genty get in year one? You know, you can maybe compare it to Bijan Robinson's rookie season, but you know what's different is there's no Tyler Algier that just had 1,000 yards on this roster in Las Vegas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like in year one, Bijan Robinson had 214 carries and he had 86 targets. Okay, so we're talking about 300 touches in year one for Bijan Robinson. In year two, he went to 365 touches. There is no way, if he stays healthy, that Ashton Genty isn't seeing 300 plus touches in his year one. Who's gonna take the touches away from him? Who? What, Raheem Mostert? No, it's not happening. All right, it's not happening. Zamir White? No, that was a goof. Okay, who else? Alexander Madison? No, it's not happening. Ashton Genty's about to have 350 touches as a rookie. What's up, Jake, who's in Green Bay? How was the draft, man? How was the experience there? I hope it was great.
Oh, shit. I chose the wrong person.
Oh, so Badaki goes Loveland at the 108. Nothing abnormal in this draft. Well, actually, Jackson Dart going as high as a 105. I think that's a surprise, no?
Yeah, I chose the wrong person. I meant to take somebody else. I picked one higher than him. That was it, Matthew Golden.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were trying to grab.
Yeah, but that's okay.
But a little bit of a surprise to see Dart that high at the 105 here in a true best ball tourney, don't you think?
Yeah, you know what? We'll go back to back here. We'll get both tied in the first round. I ain't scared.
Okay. I ain't no bitch.
I ain't no bitch.
Track says, are you guys surprised that the Steelers didn't take a quarterback? It tells me that Aaron Rodgers is about to sign.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was about to say. Aaron Rodgers, that means they're okay with it, or they just didn't want to spend that time, that effort in trying to go out and get someone like a Shedeur Sanders. And honestly, he's still available. They can still get him in the second round. Not saying they're going to, or they will, or in general that they should, but it is a possibility right now. So
yeah,
it's very interesting.
Yes, I agree. By the way, we're currently 15 likes away from 300, which is nutty. I appreciate y'all for showing some love. Be a friend, smash that like button. Let's hit 300 together. And we are currently 69 subscribers away from 20K. I'm not a rapper. I'm not Dr. Seuss. It's just the truth. Wow, I can't stop rapping.
But I'm not a rapper.
I'm gonna grab a little Jaden Higgins there, and then I'll just throw Trey Harris on the queue as well. I don't have enough Trey Harris. I know that for sure.
Okay.
But yeah, appreciate y'all big time for showing some love to the stream. Oh, that's why I couldn't draft a player. I forgot about the third round reversal. I was like, wait, why am I not able to draft a player? I forgot about the third round reversal, which makes sense. I got Genty. I should pay for it.
Well, okay. I was about to say, dude. Okay, Jalen Royals. I thought I pressed the wrong button.
Joshua says, by the way, Arthur Smith was scheming up Cordell Patterson in his first season, which is true. Unfortunately, that is true.
Yeah. What's happening, Track back when you traded up? When they traded up, did you want Dart or Sanders, and what were you looking for in the third round with the Giants? I mean, I said this. All I wanted was Abdul Carter. I didn't care which quarterback they went, whether it was Sanders or whether it was Dart. I was happy with either quarterback they would have gotten. I just wanted to get a quarterback in this draft, and I like Dart. I think he's a good mold for someone like Brian Dable. And this is exactly what they want. They want a mobile quarterback that can throw the ball and that can get a little bit dirty and rough and put his shoulder down just like a Josh Allen. Not saying he is Josh Allen, but I'm really happy with that. I don't think they wanted Shedeur Sanders. Think about it. How many reports did we see that Shedeur Sanders is going to the Giants, that they were going to take Shedeur Sanders in the third, or they were going to trade up for him? How much time did they spend with him? They didn't take him, and he was available. For the third round pick, I think offensive line, just getting more depth of that offensive line would be good. I don't think we need to do anything defensive. We literally got the best player arguably in the draft in Abdul Carter. Build that offensive line.
Yeah.
Continue to go. And we're back in it, baby. We're back.
Yes, sir. We're back big time, the New York Giants fans say. Happy for all Giants fans. And selfishly hope that it fails miserably as a Commander.
Zach's scared because he knows Abdul Carter's coming for Daniels.
I'm so scared.
Yeah, he's got Dexter Lawrence, Brian Burns, Kayvon Thibodeau, now Abdul Carter.
Yes, Commanders fans are scared of the Giants. Yes, that is what we're scared of.
No, it's not Commanders fans. It's you. Zach
I personally am scared.
You should be.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm scared. Appreciate y'all for being here with us. If you don't know, we are drafting on the FastDraft app, which is a best ball site. You can download the app on any app store. Use the promo code LAND at sign up. We'll match your deposit up to $50. That is 10 free drafts on us. You can get into these Origin tournaments, draft these rookies, get part of the hype. When you finish, I'll send you my rookie report and my season rankings completely free when you finish your first contest. And yeah, if you're a LAND member on the Flock site, DM me. I want to send you a free trade question voucher as well. I appreciate y'all big time for being here with us.
Yeah, man, it's been great so far.
Love. I appreciate the support. We feel it. We feel the love. We feel the support. And yeah, you know, yeah, not much more to say outside of that. I also will say we're about to do this giveaway where we give away our rookie tear down tool. If you guys don't know, we gave away it one time already today. And we currently have 45 entries. So if you guys want to win the rookie tear down tool, which is basically a tool that helps you tear down from the first 6 picks and what realistic outcomes you can expect, all you need to do is type LAND into the chat and hit the like button and you will be entered. We'll give that away here after this fast draft tournament. And then we also have a big announcement to make at the end of today's stream. So stick around for that because it could lead to you getting something very valuable for free. So hang around for us.
That's right.
What's up, Trax? He says, Zach, you are a Commanders and Chiefs fan. Did you like the picks they chose or did you want someone else? I think the fun pick would have been like Travion Henderson or something like that. But when we were on the stream and it happened over on our redraft channel, I said, look, getting a tackle is not exciting, but it's typically always a good move. You know, like, you're not like, oh yeah, great, we got a tackle that I don't really know that much about. But it's always great for your offense. It's great for your offensive line. It's great for your quarterback. So I can't be too upset because ultimately it's just one of those glue picks that you're never really like thrilled about, but you know is necessary. So would have loved Travion Henderson to one of my teams, but be interesting to see where he goes round 2.
It kind of makes you believe that like this second round is going to be running. Like I don't see how, which it's going to sound dumb tomorrow it's going to sound dumb tomorrow when they don't take it, but I don't see how New England at 38 doesn't take a running back. Chicago at 39 doesn't take a running back. Dallas at 44 doesn't take a running back. Cincinnati at 49 doesn't take a running back. Like you could have so many teams here. Denver at 51 doesn't take a running back. Like I expect at least 5 to 6 running backs potentially going in the second round tomorrow.
What was low-key one of the most annoying things was how all offseason Sean Payton's talked about how he wants a joker. And then at pick 20, he just goes defense. I know Jahdae Barron was like the best player available, but that was pretty disappointing, to be honest, because we all really felt like he was leading us towards inevitably taking an offensive player. So that was a little bit annoying, I'm not going to lie. And I agree with you, Austin. I definitely want to burn in DC. I'm right there with you, dude. We're on the same page, no doubt about it. All right, awesome. I appreciate y'all for being a part of these rookie origin tournaments. If you just signed up and you weren't able to get into a draft, don't worry. We'll be live tomorrow. And after we do some mock drafts, we'll get into that tournament again. So we'd love for you to join us. Use the promo code LAND when you sign up. Get your deposit matched up to $50. Now, we are going to go ahead and we are going to give away our rookie tear down tool. Okay. And if you want to enter, all you got to do is type LAND in the chat and like the stream. Okay. That's all you got to do to get entered. We currently have 50 entries. And I'm going to go ahead and pick a winner here. Let's spin the wheel. And let me pull up that wheel for us. I'll go ahead and hit copy entries. I'll paste all these entries into the wheel. And here we go. We are announcing our second winner for the Rookie Teardown Tool early access here in 3, 2, 1. And it goes to Reggie Davis. If Reggie Davis is in the chat, congratulations. You just won the Rookie Teardown Tool. All we need you to do now is to type into the chat basically your Discord username would be great. If not, your Twitter username would also be perfect. Whatever works for you, but you got to let us know one of those points of contact so we can send you the Rookie Teardown Tool. All right, last thing I'll say here before we end today's streams, Badaki. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
So, for this week only, when you purchase a team playbook, you are entered into a raffle to win another team playbook. All right. For every 10 people who purchase a team playbook, we are giving away another team playbook. So if you're out there and you've been wanting to get your team reviewed with us through the team playbook, it is a fantastic time to go ahead and get one in the queue. We're going to be looking at those after the NFL draft. Again, team playbook is a customized game plan for your offseason. I know a lot of people have been saying, man, I really want a playbook. I'm going to wait until after the NFL draft. Well, if you want one, use the promo code LAND, become an annual Mother Flocker member with the promo code LAND. You get a voucher that you can use through the Flock store. And the best news is, if you submit a team playbook right now, you have a 10% chance to get another team playbook completely free. Okay. So again, every time we get 10 entries, we're going to pick a free giveaway for the team playbook. And again, those playbooks will start up again after the NFL draft chaos has kind of died down a little bit. But appreciate y'all for being here with us. Great time to sign up. And by the way, you can still enter into that raffle. If you are a member of a different promo code, you just have to buy a playbook, whatever that looks like for you. That works for us. That's it for today. We are going to record some content now. My throat is killing me, but we're going to soldier on. And then tomorrow, we'll be live after rounds 2 and 3, doing more mock drafts with you guys. We'll have a lot more answers. A lot more of these puzzle pieces will fall together. So appreciate y'all for being here. Enjoy the rest of your night, and we'll see you soon.
Love.